So the worst place to go if you're a fan of comic books, anime or manga is most definitely the internet. Places like Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Reddit, take whatever you like and make it gay and retarded. And for some reason it just got 10 times worse. So this is just one of the insufferable posts I came across. Some random is trying to warn Scott Snyder, one of the best comic book writers of all time, about politics in his stories. And you see the picture, it's perfectly normal getting onto this absolute handicap Scott Snyder saying that maybe you should leave politics out of your stories and more people will be interested in them. And obviously this guy had the time to respond back because he isn't one of the best comic book writers of all time. He's actually just some spastic who ruined Batman in every single way possible. And a lot of people already know that, except for the people on TikTok and Twitter. And even though Scott Snyder's annoying, getting angry at fans because they told him maybe keep politics out of your shitty comics, this guy posting it is even worse. And a prime example of the disease that plagues the entire internet. Making up random statements like Scott Snyder is one of the best writers of the century. Nobody knows who Scott Snyder is, and if they do, they probably hate him because he never ever wrote a good comic. If you believe anything you hear on Twitter, TikTok or Reddit, you'll just be gaslit into believing absolute lies. And it's not just the disease of lying on the internet, it's also a disease of being a woke, insufferable prick. And I don't really get too much into politics, but what I will say is in the last few days, because some Muslim guy got elected, all of these retards are posting up that woke is back as if it ever left. And it's why I'll never assign myself to left or right, because it's all one big game that is rigged, and if you're playing on either side, you need to wake up. The people on the right getting angry at all of this crap 24/7 aren't really doing the best job. You're not fighting back against anything. And the people on the left are even more gay and retarded, saying stupid shit like woke is back. So that's one of the main things I'm trying to get across with this. And also, if you ever wanted to know my political belief, that is it right there. It's not left or right or Republican, Democrat, woke, unwoke. It's mainly just a disgust towards basically everything that is gay and retarded. And the harsh truth is everyone and everything is like that nowadays. And once again, this is one of many tweets that is just plain spasticated. And little does this guy know, he's doing a great job proving why you shouldn't be reading Marvel or DC comics. At least not the new ones, because he's just compiled everything wrong with DC right now. You have the big Down syndrome Absolute Batman, which I already covered why this is so idiotic. And also yet another Absolute DC piece of shit story that is gay. Now this guy could be over exaggerating, but basically he sums it up for you that everybody at Marvel right now is either non-binary, autistic or black. And you could be asking yourself, then what's the solution to all of this garbage that plagues the internet? And I think the best way to fight this is either to mock it or just ignore it. Because if you're a fan of real Marvel and DC, then you shouldn't have any time for these people. Because 99% of people on TikTok and Twitter who talk about comics are not real comic book fans. And the same goes for anime and manga, where there's so many super fans of anime and manga who haven't even read the proper works and will attack you for being an actual fan. And if you ever wanted to know how you can spot these people, it's like that last post. They'll just be using words like peak and fire. You know, all this retarded shit that nobody says in real life. This person is one of many people who just dumbs down Kevin Conroy, the guy who voiced Batman and is the best Batman of all time. They're not even acknowledging any of that. They're just dumbing it down to he was a gay guy in real life. Nobody who grew up watching Batman the Animated Series cared about Kevin Conroy's sexuality in real life. And just because in real life the dude is gay, that doesn't mean Batman is gay. And it immediately takes away your status as a fan of Batman and comics and any of these characters when you disrespect one of the greatest voice actors of all time, not even focusing on the fact that he's Batman, but instead what he does in real life. People try to make every single X-Men comic that was ever made about politics, taking away from the fact that for all those years it had great writing, great art, awesome badass characters, but all you care about is the politics and which character was gay and black. It's like my channel, for example. People comment all the time going, do you know the name of your channel is taken from the band Judas Priest with the main singer who is gay in real life? Why the hell would I name my channel after one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time without knowing that? Just because one guy in a band is gay in real life, that doesn't affect the band in any way whatsoever. So it's not some big gotcha when you come in and say, oh, did you know that this person was gay or black in real life? I don't give a shit. Nobody does. And if you do, stop calling yourself a fan. And there's tons more every single day, but I just want to highlight the fact that people are doing it a lot recently and they think that they're winning some sort of culture war, not realizing that the whole thing is rigged and made up to divide people. Woke is not back. You're not winning against the right wing. You're just a retarded nutjob playing into the game of the people who own you. And this guy here, I don't know how you can spew this much handicapped trash, but he managed to somehow. I just love Miles Morales, bro. No other character has had as a significant impact on pop culture. Who on planet Earth believes this spasticated shit? I'll tell you who. People on Twitter and TikTok who are fake fans, who don't read comics, don't give a crap about proper storytelling or fandom. And if you want some proof, here's a TikTok video that I just came across.
I ain't reading all that.
Now there's too many of those types of videos on TikTok to count, and every single one shows you somebody who is utterly dense. So you're the biggest comic book nerd of all time, but when it comes to reading an original Batman comic, you can read a couple of sentences. These are the same people who talk about Frank Miller's Batman Year One and complain about how small the writing is. Don't read it then. Go back to the hood or being a gay communist. You're complaining about reading the real Batman and you'd rather read something where Batman's crying or beating up white people. We saw this before, where on TikTok, people were saying the legendary Batman comic that was loved for years, Batman The Long Halloween, should be redrawn. You know something that never fucking happens. Who redraws comics? It's like talking about movies and going, yeah, you know, masterpieces like Star Wars, you should just go back and reshoot all of the scenes. Why would you do that? It makes no sense. And if you can't handle the text in older comics and you want them to be redrawn because you're not a fan of the art, then you're not a fan of comics in general. So just to end this off, Marvel and DC are only getting worse and they're being arrogant about it, thinking that people love this woke garbage. The internet is filled with fake fans, tourists, and gaslighting about comics, manga, and anime. And I can only say it so many times, but the solution to all of this is to read the classic comics and manga. Support people who actually have respect for the art form. Stay the hell away from the LGBTQ handicaps who make everything stupid. And for me, the final step in rising above all of this trash is to realize that it's not left versus right. It's not woke versus anti-woke. It's about retarded assholes versus the real fans. And if you got a problem with that, go complain to your boyfriend.
Jealous coward, trying to cold. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. Make this court what we say. Rise above, we're gonna rise.